I don't have an intro for this, by the way.
That's cool. We don't need one.
Do we want to alternate hosting?
I
think that was a no. He said, the way he said it, probably not.
Kriss, I leave it up to you to come up with some kind of intro.
Okay.
I've been doing the last podcast, so
fair enough. Like now, or
I
didn't want to just sit here silently if you're waiting for me to come up with something. I just
yeah, I'm just whenever you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, no, I'm not gonna do it.
No pressure.
Hey everyone, welcome to our brand new podcast, The Gathering Hub, where we will talk about Monster Hunter in all forms and shapes and stuff. And there are 4 of us here. Noise put on me at the last minute to come up with this, so that's why you're getting this crap. But anyway, I have with me here tonight our fellow hunters. I guess we'll start with our newest member, Bonnie.
You?
Well, they don't know she's a new member because this is a new podcast to people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your problem, Christian?
Batting 1,000.
We'll go in alphabetical order. How about that?
That works for me, yeah.
Bonnie first.
Me first.
And that was her. Basically, say your name, where you're from, who was your daddy, and what does he do?
No. Say your name and why you think Kriss is the worst hunter around.
No, that's true. And you sold it to me as he had potential.
How he's failed you.
So I'm Bonnie, and I'm the one that got stuck with Kriss, trying to train him. And then when I put him on the spot to show that he was like getting there, he just erased all of it. He's just gone.
But I'm not the one with the world's worst hunter title anymore.
It's not me either.
It's Abe.
I know it's Abe.
Really?
Yeah.
It is. It's Abe.
Okay.
Tell the story, Bonnie.
So who's next? Me? I don't know. Are we going by real names or because technically Bonnie would have been last?
I know. That's what I would say.
Why would she have been last?
Because Bonnie's not her name.
What?
You didn't know that?
It is now.
It is now just like blown. I've known her for almost 10 years.
Like Kriss is Christians now.
Yeah. Have you seen those videos, Noise, of that guy that can I have your number? Can I have your number? Can I have it?
No.
Okay. I think it's Mad TV that did it. There was one episode where he was at like a movie theater and he's just girl crazy basically. And he'll he sees pretty girls standing around and he'll go up and talk to them and then can I have your number? Can I have it? Can we be friends? Stuff like that.
Okay.
And one of the first ones I watched, he was in a movie theater and he meets this girl named Yvonne. He says, "Yvonne, that's a French ass name."
And that's why Kriss wishes that was his name.
I did know this.
You did because no one calls her that. So
yeah, no one calls it. As soon as you said that name, I was like, "Oh shit, I did know that."
Well, it's still kind of weird. So, am I next because I'm Contra, or am I next because I'm German?
I guess if we went, I guess in that case it would have been German first, if we know our alphabet.
Yeah.
Well, who cares?
We'll figure this out.
Yeah. Well, I'll go. I guess I'll go next. And I'm German.
You would.
I'm German. I'm also known as Riser or Contra, depending on what system or game we're on. I've been playing for, since 2005, I would say, maybe. And I love the game. I introduced Bonnie to it. I unfortunately introduced it to Kriss. And
then you introduced him to me, which
I did do that. I did. And then I just fell off the face of the earth, like Bonnie said. And then, Monster Hunter is a great game. And that's what we're doing. There's lots to talk to about that game. Super fun.
So, Bonnie, you also have a couple of AKAs, right?
Couple of what?
AKAs.
Aliases.
Oh.
Nicknames. Screen names.
Yeah, and Monster Hunter is
tags.
just ice. It's mostly ice. On Monster Hunter, it's always ice.
Oh, okay. I thought you also used Mosshead elsewhere, but I guess not.
Yeah, no, as I'm playing, because I get lost very easily, and I'll be going the wrong way, just like Mosshead, so
Okay.
that's why. But Kriss has been trying to take that from me. lately.
So we were playing back in the day. Remember in World, Luis, you weren't around for that time. It was me, Kriss, Bonnie, and one of our friends, Damon. And we're like, "Where are you at?" We're like, he's like, "Over here." One of us was like, "Over here." Like, follow the
It's
sound
always
of my
like
voice.
that. Where is he? Over here.
Follow the sound
Where
of my
is
voice.
Oh,
here?
sound of my voice. Exactly.
Or yeah, no, I think that was it. It's like, "Where's the monster?" It's like, "Over here." Like, where is here? Give me a zone, dude.
Fucking yeah, area what?
He's like, "Over here."
I don't know.
He was like, "Yeah, hold on." It's like, I think that was the joke. It's like, "Hold on, let me drive to your house, look at your fucking screen, come back, dude."
That's funny. Okay, I guess I'll go next since Kriss was the one introducing us all. I'm Luis, aka Noise. I think we established in our Metal Gear podcast that it was like 2005 when I started playing.
More or less. We didn't know each other back then, but yeah, we started right around the same time, I think.
Right, we were talking about like whenever Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter came out for PSP, that's when I got my PSP and started playing Monster Hunter. So I am. I remember I was asking Bonnie off pod what generation hunter she was, and it looks like German. Myself and Bonnie are Second Fleet hunters. So I've been playing since then also, but by myself because nobody knew about this game. And when I tried to tell people like, "Hey, have you heard of this game?" and when you say this name out loud to people who don't really game that much, or if they play completely different games, they're like, Monster Hunter? That sounds stupid.
Sure.
And it does.
It is a game, 100%. I'm so happy I stuck with it. Like I said, I think I've told my story in the Metal Gear one podcast where like my buddy let me borrow the Monster Hunter portable, the first one. And I was like, "Nope, I don't like it." I was like, literally a day. "Here, take the game back." No, man, just stick to it, man. It's really fun. It gets really fun. Trust me. And I was like, nah. And then I kind of started getting better and better. And I was like, okay, this game is kind of cool. And then 2 came out. And freaking, that's when we started playing together. And I loved it ever since. So it was a niche game. It's definitely more mainstream now. Like you said, Luis, it was hard finding people to play back then.
Yeah, there wasn't too many people that had PSPs also.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
and you had to do ad hoc, too. You had to be local.
Yeah, and portable gaming stuff is very Japanese. And in the West, it's very weird to see somebody, on a bus playing their PSP or something.
Yeah, actually gather at the park or something like that. Yeah. No,
Could you imagine everybody with their cell phones gathering in one spot trying to catch Pokemon? Crazy.
No shit, huh?
Crazy that even happened on this side of the planet. Like, dude,
yeah, no shit.
Soccer moms were doing this shit. It was nuts. All right, Kriss, it's now down to you.
So I am Dammit Kriss, and I am a 4th Fleet hunter. German introduced me to the game with Monster Hunter 4U. I went out and bought a 3DS and the game because he highly recommended it, and we played together a few times, and that was it. I didn't get a whole lot of experience in 4U, and then shortly after that we got Generations. I played that quite a bit more. Generations on the 3DS, and then Gen U came out for Switch, and that's, I think, when I really started getting into it. That's when we started playing a lot more with other people. I had played with Bonnie before and a few other people, German obviously, but I think when Gen U came out was when I really kind of got into the swing of things. And then of course World came out, and that was big point for the West, when a lot of us Americans, a lot of us casual gamers, really started getting into it, I think, and it really exploded. And I remember I brought on a few other people as well. There was one guy I worked with at the time. I got him a copy of 4U because he was enjoying it too. And when we would take breaks, we would play together every chance we got. And then he ended up moving back across the country, so I doubt he picked it up anymore. And then I remember got it from my sister as well, Panther, and she started playing it, so I got her introduced into that. And then But interestingly enough, years ago, back in like 2004, 2005, I had a friend who was Filipino who had Monster Hunter on PSP. And I had seen him play it a few times, so I was exposed to it. I knew what it was. I'd never actually played it myself. But yeah, he played it. I think he was fighting Kangalala, if I remember correctly.
Ooh,
I'm not sure which one it was. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. I think he had both of them. But yeah,
it's like my very first wall, Congalala. Is that I can't remember in second gen if that's first or if it's Yankuku.
I want to say it's always.
Is it Yankuku because it teaches you about sharpness?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's always been Kutku, or well, technically it's supposed to be Velocidrome, isn't it? Well,
no, I mean,
yeah.
Like the first wall where it's just like this is where the game forcibly teaches you something.
Yeah. I know for me it was Kutku and for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good Kutku.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so I am a fourth gen. I started with the fourth gen, and obviously I'm terrible at every game. I'm the world's worst gamer. This is definitely not an exception. But I very much enjoy it anyway. So
word up.
I feel bad for everyone who hunts with me.
Yeah, we were we were hunting with Kriss yesterday, Bonnie and I, and it was like old times. Really, it was just trying to keep Kriss alive, and for some reason his Switch takes like 4 days to load anything.
What?
Yeah. Yes. Didn't get much done.
Yeah, so we spend most of the time just waiting for Kriss to load back to Kamura Village and then into the actual missions. But yeah, cool. I was thinking that we kind of like we did in our Metal Gear podcast, we kind of tell a little bit about our journey with Monster Hunter. If you guys think that's cool,
yeah,
that's fine.
Okay,
yeah.
We'll go with Bonnie since alphabetical order. Just kidding, we went completely different order. But yeah, let us was it like your first PSP game or what the hell even?
Yeah,
besides German that introduced you. Yeah, what the hell?
How did you get a PSP?
It was German. I begged for it.
Okay.
Just like all kids do.
And honestly, Bonnie, I don't remember playing the PSP with you. I remember playing Try. I remember playing that one a lot.
The Wii?
Oh, come on. That's baloney, dude. Which is the one that we fought the with the flash bombs and all that in Cantor.
In Cantor?
We did that one on the PSP. See, liar.
Did we? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Bonnie, I have thousands and thousands of hours on these games. I don't know anymore. I literally
just not as many as you, because you obviously got a head start, but still. And then you put me with Kriss, so maybe as much as you, man.
All right. No, so keep going. So you got
okay. So you said every kid. How old were you when you got a PSP?
Oh, I don't remember, dude. I just remember German let me play it on his PSP, and I'd go over and I'd be playing it on his PSP.
Well, it was around 2005.
I honestly don't remember when I got one, dude. I just remember.
You still have it?
Yeah, of course I do. Remember, you're gonna give me a battery.
Oh yeah,
because mine, mine's all expanded and stuff.
Don't you remember, German?
No, and that just happened like months ago. No, that was like 2 months ago.
Dude, that was like literally like a month ago.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, for reals. I was like, hey, I took a picture of the battery, and German's like, oh, don't worry, I got a spare one. I'll give it to you. Don't buy one.
I can't believe you still have like a spare one somewhere.
No, I usually just recently bought one, a 2-pack. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was like, I got you, Bonnie. Yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, you gotta remind me on these things. Bonnie, okay, this is a thing between me and Bonnie. Like, I'd always forget to bring something. Yeah. And I'd run up to her and I'd kick her or I'd do the signal, and I'd do the squats. And she would run up to me and she would like hand over meat. And if it wasn't what I needed, I'd keep squatting. She'd hand over a hot drink. I'd keep squatting. She'd hand over sharpening stones. Like, that's it. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, most times I knew what he needed.
Voice chat or what?
Yeah, this was
oh my god.
And I think we couldn't chat back in the day too. There was limitations on our ends.
Kick me or something. I'd be like, oh man, he forgot something.
Yeah, and I'd be like,
the only thing you could do is is just the preloaded words, or was there words?
I don't even know. No, I don't think so. It was just, if there was, we
just
never used them.
Gestures, right?
It was just easier, but he wouldn't have used it anyways. He just comes and kicks me, and I already knew what it was, which is funny because when he was like teaching me how to play the game, he goes like, "You always got to come prepared. You got to get your sharpening stones and all this and that." And then we go on a freaking quest, and he doesn't have sharpening stones. Or traps or tranks or something.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right to that. For sure, it was always meat, stones, or hot and or cold drinks. Always one of those for some fucking reason.
Oh yeah.
I think it was because I had I was just too lazy to make more or something like that. So I'd forget. I'd be like, I'll make them after this mission, and I'd forget, and then we'd go on the mission.
I think it's because your style of hunting is just go. Like go. Somebody post something. Go. Let's go.
Absolutely. It was burnt time back in the day. If we weren't actively hunting something, and
But you're also still like that. Even when we were playing World or fucking Rise, you're just like, let's go.
Yeah, well, especially with these ones, the what's that word I'm looking for? The quality of life, where you can just go back to your tent and get anything you fucking need. Back then, I remember if we forgot something important, guess what? If we forgot to eat, guess what we're doing? Yep. Abandoning the mission and fucking starting all over again.
Mm-hmm. We actually brought it up last night because we went on one mission and Noise was like, oh, I forgot to eat, didn't I? He's like, well, at least we don't have to abandon the mission. Yeah. I'll quit and redo it. I was like, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so like, I did get to that point, I think, when I, with my old crew, my very first crew, RIP, only the crew, not in real life. We were so prepared always that when I think I started playing with Bonnie, it was mostly like I kind of felt like I'm in this, like, let's just, whatever happens, man. I don't care anymore. If we die, we die. Because like it was kind of end game, by the time I think I started playing with her. And then Try, me and Bonnie both agreed, at least what we feel, Try was just a little too easy. Like, I remember I was playing it because it's the nunchucks, as you guys know, the Wii. I was sitting on my couch.
Did you play with gestures?
Yeah. And I was just half like swing. I'm not even like little just jerk motions in my wrist. Yep. And my sisters walked in and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, playing. She's like, is that how you play? I'm like, that's how I play. And I was playing with Bonnie. And she's like, you're not even like, it doesn't look like you're even trying. I'm like, I'm not. These things are dying how fucking easy. Me and Bonnie were just smacking the shit out of these monsters back in the day. Sorry, Bonnie, continue. I forgot about your battery.
Please I remember you getting mad at me in that game too because I refused to make armor. Like, I was still wearing, like, the basic armor you get, and we were fighting Diablos, and one hit would literally kill me. I remember you get mad at me, like, why don't you just make better armor? Like, I don't see anything I want, I would tell you. And, hey, I made it pretty far with that armor and killed a lot of Diablos
Bonnie
that way.
So, I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but we'll say this going forward. Like, Bonnie coined the phrase, like, my way, well, just amongst us. Because, yes, Bonnie would refuse to do certain stuff, like, just refuse to switch weapons or to make armor or just go the long way. You're like, Bonnie, it's faster. He goes, no, my way. Like, all right, whatever, and she'd still make it far. She'd still fucking beat a lot of these things, Yeah. Bonnie, I don't know why I don't remember much about those times. I just remember, leaving you with Kriss for a minute. And then we finally got back into World. So, sorry about that.
For a minute.
It was a minute. I don't remember. I'm a time traveler. I don't know time. Time to me is weird.
Yeah, I don't know if Bonnie knows about that. The German is a freaking time traveler because his memories are different than ours. He's got memories from a completely different timeline.
Absolutely.
In our Metal Gear podcast, so he might have the same problem over here. But yeah, so you got your PSP. German got you into Monster Hunter. I guess it would be Portable Second or Freedom Unite.
Yeah.
One for sure, probably Unite because Nargacuga's in there, so that's Bonnie's like probably top tier monster. So
okay,
yeah, one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, Narga's cool. I like Narga. I love every monster. I'm
looking. Mr. Chewy Bitems. I would get so good with killing that thing with a hammer or time that thing so right. It was so much fun back then. Yeah, but they're a lot easier now for sure. But yeah, I got the PSP.
I also think we're getting better too, except for Kriss.
Except for Kriss, that's true.
Kriss is day 100.
Oh man. Oh, don't even remind me how many Karen we hunted, and then for him to just die like that.
Oh, Karen. Jeez, tempered Karen.
Karen.
No.
That one. Oh, don't even start with that one. We're doing this mission noise over and over. It's the only time that I've been broken. Actually, I was broken once before. I was just so over it. We failed this mission like 15 times. And out of maybe half of those were so close. Like, Kriss, just don't die. Please don't die, Kriss. Please don't die, Kriss. And he would faint. I was like, okay, fucking, probably, all right, one more, you guys, before we go to bed. And freaking, it was Kieran and like, what the hell was the name of that one monster? Namil, the water monster. Namil, yeah.
I think it was before that was released.
No, it was Namil, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Well, my memories, my timeline
I don't think
says
this was a regular Kieran either. It was the one that
it was Endgame.
Tempered, yeah.
No, it was like Endgame, so whatever those things were. But point being, Bonnie probably went back to base or something like that. I don't know why she wasn't there with me. And I was there with Kriss, and we're trying to fight this Kieran. and this thing's jumping around, and Kriss is just talking nonsense. He's just like, oh, I'll
tell you why in a second. Keep going.
He's like, oh, I'll call you Karen. I don't care, man. Just kind of talking, just random shit. And I'm just like coming up with, I think it was Chargeville I was using at the time. And I'm just kind of like circling around, waiting for that perfect time to get off, my true elemental discharge or whatever. And fucking, I see Karen bump him once, bump him a second time, and then just hits him a third time with like a body check or whatever when he does little hops. Yeah. And Kriss goes instantly to faint. And Karen turns around and just the lightning, the ground just lights up. He's like, please no, or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, no.
I was just kidding or something like that. Bam! Dies instantly. And I just started fucking I couldn't stop. I had to walk away. And they were Bonnie and Kriss were like, what the fuck's going on? But I was just like, because I'm just watching him talk shit, and then this monster just goes boink, 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 and there's like dizzy, zap. I was like, God damn it, Kriss.
The second he called it Karen, I knew it was downhill from there. But see, I'll tell you what, he was cocky. He was cocky because we were doing that mission over and over and over. And German, we were completing it successfully. That's the thing. Like, we were actually doing good. So then when you wanted to do it, I was like, all right, we got this, no problem. But I knew he messed up the second he started calling it Karen. I knew it. And I knew he was going to make me look bad because, yeah, he died.
He kind of reminds me of like Abraham would do some shit like that. He'd get all cocky with like signatures. Oh, I can kill this dude, man. And then fucking get slashed in half. He's like, oh shit, never mind.
Well,
I would come with a rock and kill it.
If I remember correctly, too, I was an accident that I called it Karen the first time. And I was like, no, I meant Karen. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to call you Karen.
I was I was just zoned out because it was like 12 midnight. And I was like, I got to work tomorrow and we haven't done shit. I don't think we've successfully beat this mission right now. I'm kind of mad and sad. And then, like I said, I was happy after that because I got a good laugh, Kriss.
That was the time I got killed at camp, too.
Because we were playing that, we were doing that. I'm telling you, we were doing that quest over and over, and we were talking about if Karen's lightning could kill you at camp. And Kriss is like, had to go do something, right? He's like, I'll be back. So he forecasted to camp, and he was there at camp. And I'm fighting Karen, but Karen doesn't want none of me. It was chasing wherever Kriss went, right, to camp. And next thing I know, he gets zapped. And Kriss happens to come back and he goes like, did I just cart? And I start dying laughing and I tell him, yeah, you know how we were wondering if Karen can kill you at camp? Karen can.
I'm assuming they must have fixed that because the Karen lightning would extend into the camp. That was
yeah, Kriss died and he got to see himself die too. It was good times.
Yeah, indeed.
Sometimes. It was Kriss dying.
What were we doing?
We're talking about,
Bonnie's trying to tell the story. Yeah, damn it.
Tell more story? What story? Go, Bonnie, go.
After that, anytime anything that had to do with Monster Hunter, of course, I had to go buy the game. But I already had a DS because of Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for the 3DS. Okay.
But as soon as Monster Hunter, anything, if it was on the Wii U, whatever, I just buy it and play it. And most times with German, like we would play together.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until later that he was like, "Hey, I got a friend you can play with when I'm too busy to play, because I'm not always on." And it turned out it was Kriss, and he told me Kriss had lots of potential. That he sucked right now, but he has potential.
Little did we know.
And no.
See, what you don't understand is I never said it was positive potential. I never said you can get
you
better.
led me to believe he would make a okay substitute. Okay? And when we got into World, we were just playing to see how much in debt we could get into the game. We were just playing to lose at that point. Like whoever had money would post the damn quest.
I think playing with Kriss makes us better hunters because not only do we heal ourselves, but we have to keep him alive.
Oh yeah, guys, you have no idea.
While also trying to take down the monster.
So many life powders. But then we got rid of friendship. We took off friendship because we realized we were enabling Kriss.
Exactly.
Because before we all had to wear friendship, but then we're like, no.
No, it was fun. Good times. Like I said, me and Bonnie would make little mini games. Like I don't remember what it was. Wasn't it like? It was something about like trying to kill the sub monster before freaking Kriss.
Yeah.
To see if we can kill how many sub monsters we kill before Kriss died 3 times or something like that. I don't remember what we just played all kinds of dumb things.
Or just kill one. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Kriss? We'll be back. We're gonna go kill this other thing that's in the way just for fun. Don't die, you know.
So did you? So what is your main, Bonnie?
It used to be like I first started with bow, and then on the PSP, I definitely played with all the weapons there, and I had great sword, everything. The only one I didn't like was the long sword. But then after that, German got me into hammer because he kept saying, "Bonnie, you know what this monster needs? Hammer to the face." So I definitely switched to hammer, and it goes between hammer, hunting horn, or sword and shield, but it's between mostly hammer and hunting horn right now.
I've never seen you fight with sword and shield.
No, she was good at it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was. I remember taking that on what was it on Try German, right?
Oh yeah.
And with some of those elder dragons and stuff like that, and people in the chat would give me grief, like, "Why are you bringing a sword and shield?" And then I just be wrecking that thing. But yeah, I kind of got a little bit away from it, and did more hammer than anything. And then, like I said, now it's a hunting horn and hammer. But yeah, I used to play with sword and shield.
I feel like that's the most disrespected weapon setup is sword and shield. Like people just do not respect it, and it's like, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%.
When you get down on it, like you can get fucking down on sword and shield, especially in the latest years. Like just the combos that they've added to it, and the bonking you could do with your fucking shield.
The shield dash, yeah. I remember when German was first telling me about the game and how it worked and everything before I even had it. I'm pretty sure, and he talked about how he would take out like sword and shield and use it in fights where he's like, most people wouldn't do it, but I'm gonna figure out how to do it and all that kind of stuff. And experiencing the game now, I can definitely see like there's certain monsters where like certain weapons at a specific level or whatever you want to call it of expertise at the game, certain weapons are going to be easier to beat certain monsters. Sword and shield was almost never one of those weapons that is good against any monster. And so having experienced that for the many years that I have, I can certainly appreciate when people are like, "Oh, well, you can't beat this monster with sword and shield." Well, maybe you can't, but I can't, So.
Yeah. And what generation did they get rid of like the oils for the sword and shield?
So they had that up till GU.
Really?
Yeah.
And so it went away in World, huh?
World was the first one.
Yeah.
Wait, Unite had oils? And 3 and Try Try had oils, right? I don't think Unite had oils, did it?
Freedom Unite,
I don't think so.
Freedom Unite
No. Try.
Oh, so maybe only Try in 4th gen?
Possibly. I won't lie to you, I didn't use Sword Shield anymore after that point. But affinity oils. What were they? Attack oils or affinity? What were
they? There was like there was
different ones,
there was one for attack, one for affinity, and I think there was 4 of them total.
Yeah, I never really got to try any of that stuff because I learned about it super late. Like I learned about it when I started playing in World. That I don't know if like other people, like when I was streaming on Twitch, they'd be like, "Yeah, dude, there's there was a purpose to fishing, like for sword and shield." And I was like, "Huh?" And they're like, "Yeah, you could put fucking oils on your shit." And I was like, "What? Why would they stop that? Like that sounds dope. Like it makes it."
Yeah, I never used that.
It seems like it would make it just as useful as the way like dual blades is, right? Like dual blades is a status type of weapon, and it feels like they could have done something like that too with sword and shield. Like it's like, hey, just bring oils and, like you said, boost up affinity or attack or whatever. But I don't know. I guess that might have made it too OP, especially with World Sword and Shield.
Possibly. I'm not seeing anything on here in like earlier games. I'm seeing Generations, and I definitely didn't use Sword and Shield in Generations. So I'll be honest with you on that.
So it's just Generations?
That's what it's saying here, but I'm not really.
Whoa, that's weird.
I thought it was in 4U as well.
It might be Sword and Shield. I'm looking this up.
Honestly, don't remember.
Yeah, this is because that was new information to me when I heard it. So I assumed it was like every generation up until World, but I guess not.
No, definitely not freaking. I'm 90% sure Unite didn't have it because I was still using Sword and Shield and Unite. Someone let us know because I'm trying to look it up, but let's see. I'm not seeing anything on 4U either. The only thing that's coming up is Generations.
Huh. Okay.
Weird. Okay then. That's
oils were around. Well, do you guys remember the freaking disposable earplugs?
What? Yeah.
I don't. No.
I do.
Disposable earplugs?
I
don't remember when that started, but yeah, those were fun.
Yeah,
For you?
I'm pretty sure it was for you. Maybe Generations. I'm on the computer. Let me fucking do it. So what they were
I can't really use that sound effect, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Which one?
If only I had a rope.
That's from our Metal Gear podcast.
Dispose
Inside joke. Go check out that podcast.
Earplug. So what they were an item. I think you could bring like 3 or 4 of them with you, and you would eat them. Like it was funny because you would just eat them like a potion, and it was just one roar protection. That's all it did. But they were kind of useful if you didn't have ear protection as one of your skills. So they were kind of like late game items to unlock. They weren't, or at least you had to do certain missions to get them. So I didn't do those missions, or at least I didn't talk to people. That was the time period, Bonnie, where like you'd be like, "Did you get this? Did you do it?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Dude, you got to do this mission." And I was like, "Oh, I already did. Go talk to this guy." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'd be like, "Man, my farm is sucks. Why is my farm sucking?" Bonnie's like, you gotta do fucking village quests. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I've been doing all the online shit." I'm like, "I didn't know that."
Dude, but the only reason I would do it is because I wanted the freaking rainbow armor. I always wanted the rainbow armor. Like that's the first thing I would go unlock whenever I could.
But yeah, it was disposable earplugs. Those were pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's coming on from that game, unfortunately. I'm trying to figure out where they came in. It just says Monster Hunter. It doesn't. I don't have the information, but it was only one game. It was either For You or Generations. It has to be one of those.
Okay. Cool. Anything else to add, Bonnie, to your story?
No, that's about it.
Okay, cool.
It's all German's fault.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we said earlier, and who's doing the editing on this one, Kriss? So,
no,
Kriss, you? Okay. Well, anyways, I started back in the day. My friend really pushed me to play it, so
wait. Why does it matter who's editing it?
Oh, just because. Just wondering if you can do some magic and chop stuff up that isn't needed, or
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if you're gonna say something and Kriss was gonna like. I don't want this story to be told. He's just gonna cut out or something.
Oh, okay. No. So, like Bonnie said, and like we were saying, so when I first started playing, I couldn't stand Greatsword. I tried it. Who doesn't want to use a fucking the Cloudbuster, whatever, Buster Sword, right?
Yeah.
Right,
Who doesn't? It's the fucking poster child of the game, pretty much, right? And like, who doesn't want that giant weapon? Nope, couldn't use it. All right, well, let's try longsword. Nope, couldn't use it. I tried every weapon, and sword and shield was the only one that felt natural to me. And I'm like, well, okay, this one feels nice. Started using it up, and then when I finally, and then 2 came out, bought 2, was playing it, and my friends were finally like, hey, let's get together and hunt. And I showed up with sword and shield, and they were like, dude, that thing sucks. You can't bring them. You're worthless. You're not doing enough damage. Yada 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 yada. And I was kind of like tempted to switch weapons, but I'm like, I like this weapon. And I said, why would it be in the fucking game if it wasn't a viable weapon?
Exactly.
I said, especially because that's what we've kind of, we'll get into this as the more this podcast goes along, but like these games are really well made in sense of like every weapon is usable, every strategy, like there's no right or wrong way to do anything, honestly. And anyone who says otherwise, like you have, well, okay,
Kriss, you're the exception. Okay, it's not about you. Let you tell a story.
No, my deal with that is Insect Glaive. There is a wrong way to use Insect Glaive.
Okay, yes, that's probably
yeah. That's true. A lot of people did use that the wrong way. I forgot about that.
But otherwise, like I said, I mean, if you want to go bring a hammer, man. If you want to freaking do, bow, gunner, every weapon works. Every monster can be defeated because every monster has its own dance you can do. Anyways. I was playing on my own, got some really good gear on with Sword and Shield, went back to my buddies, and now we're up like freaking high levels. We're fighting God knows what now, right? And they gave me shit. Like, you're still fucking using that Sword and Shield? Oh my god, blah, blah, blah. I think it was Ashla Shenlong that we were fighting. And I destroyed this fucking thing. I broke those claws. I broke that. I mean, like, instantly. Because again, I'm like, slash, dodge, slash, dodge, slash, while they're sitting here setting up one big old whiff, like Kriss, just swinging a miss,
Yeah.
And I'm already gotten like 50 hits in there. So anyways, I love that weapon to death. And then Unite came along, and that's when I decided, okay, all right, let's pull out the big guns. Let's do something bigger. And my buddy was a hammer user. Oh yeah, this is a true story. So I was like, all right, I'm pick hammer. So, you get your, back in the day, your classic, 1, 2, 3, and then you could charge it, let go, and slam dunk, right? And I remember asking him, like, oh, what's this little spinny attack? And he goes, oh, that thing sucks. Don't ever use that. That thing is worthless, it doesn't do any damage. I'm like, what's the point of it? Again, why would it be in this game if it doesn't do something? And
that's how you know someone doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh yeah,
like this move that this weapon has, totally useless. Like, oh, you mean you don't know how to use it?
Yeah. And I remember I was like swinging the golf club with a monster, and I was like, it's got to do something. I was thinking maybe it's for, like I said, status effect or something, right? And then I just mashed X. Was it X button, right? I don't even know what button it is anymore. The point is golf swing, smash. Oh, goddamn. So I was like, ooh, I can't wait to show these fuckers something new. We show up to the next fight. We're fighting probably T-Rex or something like that. And, bam, bam, bam. So why are you doing that? Smash, KO. That's why, motherfucker. That's why I'm using this attack. And my friend's like, how'd you do that? I was like, secret. And then after that, he's like, oh, you just fucking smash X. Like, dude, you've never smashed X? Like, no, I never did. It's like, you're so dumb. And I have been all over the board. The only weapons I have yet to, in my opinion, master, and by master I mean like get really comfortable with, is going to be Switch Axe, Gun Lance, and Lance. I haven't really messed with those too much. And heavy bowgun. Otherwise, I'm pretty proficient with any other weapon out there. I have my favorites, obviously. Sword and shield holds a place in my heart, old style. Haven't messed with the new stuff. Hammer holds a place in my heart, old stuff. But ever since, what was it, 4U, I went to Charge Blade because it was a new weapon. I think it was on 4U, so I was like, hey, I want to try something new. Mm-hmm. I was already super good with hammer. I was super good with greatsword, super good with bow. I'm like, I want a challenge again, right? So I used to, and that was a weapon that was right up my alley. It was the most technical weapon at the time, like the whole charging your sword and your files, and you bounce if you're in red, and like people were like pissed off at that weapon, but I was determined to get good at it, and I loved that weapon. I loved it to death. And I stopped using Charge Blade in World because I was doing pretty damn good. So in World, I decided I was going to start using, I think, a longsword in World. And Kriss was doing greatsword and completely whiffing every hit, just making battles take 10 times longer, never chopping off any tails. And one day I said, okay, Kriss, let me show you how to use this goddamn weapon. I haven't touched a greatsword since like probably 4U at this point, right? So I bring my greatsword. It took me a little bit to get used to it, but instantly, it was like riding a bike. Greatsword, beautiful, especially because that shoulder charge that they added to World.
Oh yeah.
So you wouldn't lose your. I was like, dude, this weapon is beautiful, Kriss. You suck.
Wasn't it Red Sino Jiva? Right. That's the one we were playing. And
and
you're like, all right, Kriss, and
Yeah, no,
we taught Kriss lots of lessons.
Oh yeah, because in that game, you get those mounts and whatnot, and like. Kriss would try to, so that was one of the other games we'd play, was who can get the mount, forget the mount before Kriss would get the mount.
That's true. And I hated the mounts, okay?
Or if Kriss was on the mount, we'd flash him off.
Flash him off.
Especially Damon. We used to do that all the time to each other. Oh, it was an accident. Sorry, didn't mean to.
But yeah, no. So yeah, that's my history. I've played every version that's been available to me. I haven't had a chance to play third because that was Japanese only, and I know there's American ports or whatever, not official, but obviously fan made or whatever. Just didn't really have time to play those. I haven't played any of the stories. I hear they're good, but I just can't get into the stories. So if anyone likes them out there, sorry, they're just not for me. I feel like a combination of Pokemon and Monster Hunter, and I'm not into that. I just want to kill them. I just want to kill them. I don't want to play. I don't want to befriend them.
It's literally what it is. It's literally what it is, and it's the most basic form of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's still kind of fun to play. I have both of them. I have the I don't have the 3DS version of the first one. I have the mobile version of it, which for some reason doesn't support controller. Like it's touch controls only, which is like okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they're doing a remake or not a remake, but like a re-release of the first one.
Yeah, I thought they already did.
Or did they already?
I know they announced it a while ago.
Yeah, I heard something. So it might already be out.
Yeah,
but controller support finally. And I have the second one, dude. And when the last time I was streaming that one, I was literally like falling asleep. Like I was pulling a Kriss on stream. Like I was falling asleep as I was playing this, and I was like, shit, you know what? I cannot. This is not a game to stream. Like this is like a. If I want to chill out and relax and not deal with chat or anything, this is that type of game. It's just like, okay, just some Pokemon with some monsters. And I don't know. I think it's funny that you can ride them because they're they're smaller than they are in the main game.
Yeah, it's like a whole chibi. It's Monster Hunter Chibi.
So they look hilarious, especially when you see. I don't know if you guys ever watched the anime, but there's a dude. The anime is based on the first game. There's a dude that's like a pretty big dude. He's a pretty fat guy, and he's riding like this Kurapeko that's like, the size of a horse. It's so little. And this guy is just riding this Kurapeko, and it's just like, how is this thing keeping him up? This is so ridiculous. So it's more just funny and whatever, It's
I think it's laid back,
very laid back
Cutesy
game,
kinda,
cutesy,
I never got into that one either.
I would say I'd recommend them at least. Just give them a shot. Give them a couple hours because obviously RPGs like that take fucking forever to start.
Oh sure,
but they're pretty good.
But yeah, for me that's about it. Like I said, I consider myself to be a pretty good hunter. I ain't no dark side, or I mean, there's millions of hunters that are better than me. But the one thing I do have, at least this is what I actually, my final going off story here. I consider myself to be a tactician or a strategist, because I came up with strategies back with my old crew, with my old original crew. I was the one that was coming up with strategies on how to beat those walls. I was coming up with strategies for freaking Incantor, White Fatalis, Crimson Fatalis. Like I came up with these strategies that for us, again, this was not that the internet wasn't around, but there was, at least not that we could find, no big forums, there wasn't that much information out there. Be like, oh, do this, do that. You would just sit there and be like, oh, I wonder how the fuck do I get a what do you call it? A ruby, It's like, oh, not many people knew that chances were increased by tails, or, pet the pig. That doesn't increase your chances. We just believed it did. Pet your pig before you go on a mission, guys, because it increases your fucking chances. It doesn't do it, but we still do it anyways because
bring Poogie back.
Bring Poogie, yeah. But yes, I was a strategist. I came up with a bunch of strats that worked. I was, again, my guys out there, if you are listening, my old crew, I helped you defeat White Fatalis. I helped us defeat Incantor. I helped us defeat Crimson Fatalis. That was me.
I thought he was about to send love, but he was like, you guys are nothing without me.
You guys owe me, motherfucker.
Y'all.
Right.
Look where we at now. What up?
Yeah, I don't even know if they still play. I have no idea if they still play. But yeah, that's my life. That's my thing. I'm a decent hunter. Love this game to death. We'll always love it. So yeah.
Kriss, should we Rochambeau?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
So the opposite of German, I am the worst hunter, but I still very much enjoy the game. I'm in many ways, I consider myself a much more casual gamer, I think, than most people. I don't get super into it. I don't get super competitive and stuff like that. So when I play a game, I play for fun. Monster
and
Hunter,
mac and cheese.
think, yeah, mac and cheese too.
What?
Not competitive.
So Bonnie and I made a deal, or made a bet, I guess, to see who could get to HR 100 first. And this was that with World or was that with Rise?
Yeah, I think it started in World. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it started in World.
Just to see who could get to HR 100 first, because I think we were both 50 or 60 at the time, and we had both been through the game for the most part. We had beaten the main story and everything, and I knew I wasn't gonna win. I knew there was no chance in hell, and I was like, oh, I'll bet. And at the time, I would go to Sam's Club. And I'd get a big box of macaroni and cheese that came with 12 boxes inside of it or something like that. And I said, the winner gets one of those. She's like, okay, yeah, you're on, whatever. And sure enough, she beat me to it. And so I was a man of my word, and I bought her that big box of the macaroni and cheese. It cost me more to ship it to her through USPS than it did to actually buy the product from the store.
True. It's true. It did. That was the best part.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been smarter just to order it online and ship it to her instead of buying it locally.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that was not something that came to my mind at all. I'll just ship it up to her. And it was $13 to buy it.
So wait. When you shipped this thing, did you go to the post office with this bare box and say, I need to ship this box of macaroni and cheese?
So they have those flat rate boxes.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I had the box of the actual macaroni and cheese in my car.
Uh-huh.
So I went ahead.
You did it in your car.
Yeah, I went inside, got one of those boxes because I didn't know if it was going to fit or not. I was going to send all of them. That was a deal. But I didn't know if I was going to have to send like 2 medium boxes or like 1 large one. I was able to get it all in 1 large one, luckily. But the large box at the time was like $20, I think. And it cost me $13 to buy it from the store. So I paid more in shipping sending it to her than I did for the actual product.
Yeah, no, I was wondering if you fucking went into the post office, people were giving you the side eye, like, what the fuck?
No.
This guy's just shipping a box of mac and cheese?
No, I went inside and I filled out one of those, like, shipping sticker things, and I took that out with me with the box, and I packed it up out there, and I had some tape with me in the car as well, and then I brought that back inside and shipped that, yeah.
That's great.
But, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm definitely not like super competitive or anything. I play for fun. A lot of times I'll do stuff on purpose. Just I know I'm going to screw up. I know I'm going to mess up. My common go to is come at me, bro. You know.
Yeah.
And anytime I say that, like, nope, you're gonna die, Kriss. You know you're gonna die. And I know, it's fine. You know. But no, I very much fell in love with Monster Hunter when German first introduced me and I was playing for you. I almost exclusively played with him. I never really played by myself much. And then, of course, I had my friend at work that we would play together as well. And then my sister and I played very, very rarely, very occasionally. And then we got Generations, and I played that just a little bit as well. Again, pretty much just with German and Bonnie and some other people. And then, when it came out on Switch, and it was, a lot easier to play with online and everything like that. I got more into it and more involved and started feeling more serious about it than I had in the past, I guess. I actually played that one alone a lot more than I had the other games. And before I even started playing, before I even started for you, I remember looking at videos on YouTube and doing all sorts of research and all that kind of stuff because German was telling me all this stuff, and I was like, holy crap, this game is like super complicated. Like you can really dive deep into this, and there's so much to get in. Because he's telling me about, you have armor skills, and some of them are positive, and some of them are negative, and sometimes you'll get this skill on the armor, but then it takes away from this, and if you go up against this monster, it has this kind of attack, so you have to use this type of armor. It's like, holy crap, like there's so much to like dive into. And one of the first channels I started watching for Monster Hunter was Eric's Gaming.
Shout out.
Awesome guy. Love his videos. And I was going through and I remember thinking like, okay, what weapon do I want to pick? Because German was telling me like, this is the weapon I use. And he's like, I've played around with most of them, but this is my favorite. And I was like, okay, so it's one of those. You got to pick a favorite. So I'm going through and I'm looking, and I remember like Sword and Shield. He's like, yeah, this is good for the beginners and it's simple and everything. Not saying that it's a bad weapon, just saying that this is the most beginner-friendly weapon.
Easier to get your mind around.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, that I'll probably start with that.
What weapon was it?
It was the Sword and Shield.
Oh, okay.
And he had like a whole playlist of different weapons and how they work and their moves and combos and everything. And then he came to the Switch Axe. And I was like, ooh, I really like this weapon. I love this weapon. I like the way it looks. I like that it has 2 forms, and you could have, when it's an axe form, you're a little more agile. You can move. You have a little more reach. When it's in sword form, you're a little slower. You're slower to hit, but you can do heavier attacks and stuff like that. And I was like, ooh, I really like this weapon. Like it's pretty. It's relatively beginner friendly while also being you can handle a lot of situations.
Yeah.
And so it's like I really want to try that weapon. I versatile. Yes, that's the word I was trying to think of. I really want to try that weapon. And I remember I got the game and I gave it not a very good try. I didn't try very much, but I tried a few hunts with it and I was like, I don't like this weapon. It sounds good. It sounded good on paper. In reality, it's not so good. So I went back again and I kind of looking over the videos and okay, what else is there? And long story, and I was like, no, I don't want that. And different things and Insect Glaive. And I was like, nah, that doesn't sound like fun. Dual blades I kind of messed around with a little bit too, and I was like, I like it, but it's not my style. And I came across the Greatsword, and I was like, yes. Generally, when I play games, RPGs, action adventure, whatever it may be, I like to be the one that hits heavy, that's tanky, and that does big numbers,
Right, but when you're the tank, you need to be able to take that damage.
Right, yeah. Well,
And
this was
not
before...
He needs to heal. That's what I do. He just needs to heal. He needs to know what hits he can take and can't.
This was before I fully understood Monster Hunter and how it worked, So I saw, ooh, big hit, big number, me like.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much what I've used ever since then. So most of 4U, all of, what's it called, Gen and Gen U, World. I switched up a little bit with World. I would mess around with Switch Axe then, and I started to like it a lot more because they had made some changes to it by then, and especially with Rise and Sunbreak. I messed around with a lot more there too. But for the most part, my main is Greatsword.
What is that move that Switch X does where you like mount the monster and do that, like
the mini mount? Is what
yeah, we called it mini mount. It was the some elemental burst discharge or something like that.
Yeah.
That was one of the changes they made that I absolutely loved. Oh my gosh.
I remember when I saw that, I was like, I think I might go back.
Yeah. The first time I did that, I'm pretty sure I did it on accident.
Okay.
And I think what had happened, I think the reason I switched to Switch Axe was because we had started playing, me, Bonnie, and Herman, German, it all started playing together. And then German's friend Damon started playing with us too. And so I was like, okay, well, if he's starting new, I'm going to start a new character as well. And I started messing around with Switch Axe a little bit.
Mm.
And so that's when I learned about the whole, the elemental burst discharge or whatever, and the mini mounts and everything. I was like, ooh, I really like this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, when I first saw that, I was like, what weapon are you using? And I think I was watching you, and I was like, dude, what is that thing? And you were like, oh, it's the mini mount or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? When did they add this to the Switch X?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I love that. But yeah, 90% of the time you'll see me with Greatsword. And just like they say, yes, 90% of the time I'm missing the monster. I will swing, it will move, and I will miss.
Yeah. When you look over at Kriss, he's just he's charging the blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll come in front of me and it'll hit. But yeah most of the time it doesn't. There were a couple monsters I would get lucky with timing with, or if they were simpler monsters or easy to learn, I could get them, which is usually the lower class ones. But for the most part, 90% of my hits miss, or 90% of my swings miss.
Yep, and I have to use my hammer to cut tails.
Yeah.
Remember that, Kriss?
Yep, that's true.
With the poke gesture?
No.
No, it doesn't have it. No, Hammer doesn't have a poke gesture. In fact, Hammer should not be able to cut tails, and there was one time I could have sworn she cut the tail off with her hammer.
Wasn't there in the previous generations you could do like a stab motion with the handle on the hammer?
I believe so. If your weapon was drawn and you push select, I think so.
Right, like instead of kick, it would.
Yeah, jab. I want to say there was old.
But this was with World that she was.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you.
What the fuck?
So apparently the way the mechanic works is you can do damage towards cutting the tail with any weapon. It's just that final bit of damage has to be with a slicing weapon.
Okay.
And that's another thing that would happen many, many times. She would be working on the tail because I'm up at the head where I don't belong.
Right.
And so she's like, fine, I'm going to go to the tail then. And so she'd be wailing on the tail, just wailing on it. And I would go back, finally, hit the tail once, and the tail's off. Look what I did!
Yeah. He's like, I finally cut the tail. I was like, sure you did, Kriss.
Well, and Kriss, it's not that you don't belong at the head. You just don't belong up there until you cut the tail off. That's how Greatsword works.
That's true. Yeah.
Chop the tail, then you go to the head.
Most of the time I was getting in her way is what was happening.
Yeah.
So.
Just launch you guys. I remember that too. You guys would run up to the head, and I'd be doing that spin attack, like I said, the golf move, and you guys can come and be all mad at me because I'd launch you, but I don't know what the heck you guys were doing there.
Well, usually, no, you launched me a few times, but I usually took it to made it work for me.
Yes, you would sometimes,
me and Bonnie, I would trip you with my fucking axe sometimes, and I would like, sorry, Bonnie. I'm swinging this shit around because you could swing that thing around, so it was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. When you and I would play, we would use those to our advantage.
Me and Bonnie, I always said this. Me and Bonnie had like spoilers don't say anything, but we had like an SOP thing going on, noise, where we wouldn't even talk to each other. and we knew what was going on. We would literally, I would be like, let's say I got smacked backwards, boom, and I go flying, and I see the monsters not paying attention to me, so I heal real quick, and I start coming up, running up to the monster, and I see Bonnie's already got like 5 hits in, and I'm like, in a fraction of a second, I hit it a few times with my impact files. She's smacking it like 6-7 times, really good right now, KO, and I would stop. The monster would KO and land right in front of me, or vice versa. I do that I would see her going for the tail. I'm like, that tail's gonna come off any second now, and I would literally adjust. I would stop and turn around, and the tail would go flying, come off. Monster would, jump across the screen and land right in front of me, like, "Hi, monster!" Bam! It's like
nice.
Me and Bonnie were good. We flowed very well. Again, it was good times back in the day, Bonnie. Sorry I ditched you.
I know, you gave me Kriss, and none of that happens. I hope you know that. None of that happens. I have to do, like, just as much. I have to be both you and me, and keep Kriss alive.
No spoilers, she got a Kiba.
Got a what?
She got a Kiba.
Akiba? Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was like I said, me and Bonnie had a flow to that game. But, yeah, Chris's little mini mounts. I will tell you this, Kriss. When you switch over to Greatsword in World, I kind of said, can you go back to Switch Axe? I think you were doing more abuse. You were kind of out of the way more. You actually did some damage.
That's right.
I've actually been considering what weapon I want to use for
Wilds
when it comes out. Yeah,
I've actually
go with hammer first.
I've actually talked to a buddy of mine.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
That'll be for the end of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to discuss that. I guess my story.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
But real quick, one more thing. Going back to what Bonnie was talking about earlier, where she says like every once in a while she'll use Sword and Shield. I have been what's the word, the dog that was trained to drool at the sound of whistle. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh yeah, that one test, right? Where to salivate, yeah.
So anyway, I have been conditioned that anytime Bonnie brings out Sword and Shield, I know it's serious hunting time, because she only does that when we need to beat the monster.
Okay, gotcha.
She only does that when we need to chop off tail. And
not only that, but to keep Kriss alive. Depending on what monster we're hunting, and Kriss needs materials, then I have to bring my Sword and Shield.
Yep.
Just to break everything. And you know who gets the last hit on every freaking part?
Kriss. Yeah, always.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh my gosh, you see, I broke that claw. Oh, and I broke that claw. Oh, and I broke the shell. I'm like, sure you did.
Me and Bonnie would laugh at that. Kriss would be like, watch, she's going to say he fucking did this. Like, sure enough, like, oh man, I broke the horns. You missed 90% of your fucking swings. And then the one that does hit, you're like, I broke it. Yeah, Kriss, good job.
Yeah, I remember there would be those hunts where we'd try a few times and it wasn't working. Bonnie's like, all right, I'm going to get Sword and Shield. And it's like, oh, it's serious now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can continue now.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kriss.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but like I mentioned earlier, I got my PSP whenever Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter came out on PSP, because I was still in the let's play some war type of games all the time back in the old 2005, I think it was. But yeah, then I got my hands on I honestly don't know if it was Freedom or Freedom 2. No, it was Portable Second. That's what it was, because I for some reason I didn't have access to Freedom. So it was Portable Second. I don't know why it was called that, the copy I got. But yeah, I just kind of like went into it, didn't read anything, like most new hunters. They're just like, I'm sure everyone tried at the beginning, like, oh, cool, stuff to read. And then you're like, yeah, I need to go kill something, like right now. So yeah, I didn't read anything. I didn't understand how any of the weapons worked. I didn't understand how armor worked.
Mm-hmm. Sharpness, none of that.
Sharpness,
No one was around to teach you any of this. Even the game doesn't teach you this shit.
Well, it does. It does if you read it.
Like, oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah. Because I did
the same thing. I haven't read anything.
Dude, I was trained by German too, man. And yeah, we didn't read nothing. German's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just go. And that's just how I've played for every game, you know? Yep. Just go.
There's a whole...
Don't read.
So Poke Village, right? We all know Poke Village.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kriss, you've seen it in Generations U?
Yeah. And for you, I think it is, right?
I don't think it's in 4D.
I think it's in Generation. I don't remember.
Maybe not. Okay, you're right.
I
No,
love
it's
both
not.
those games. Keep going.
But anyways, yeah, Poke Village, before you go to the exit and right next to the gathering hall, on the left, there's a training area. And that will and I tried, like, as a noob, trying to go through these training things, like, okay, but it's just, I didn't understand that the game was about deliberate hits. I was more like, I want to play this like if it was God of War, or Devil May Cry, something. Yeah, I didn't think there was gonna be much strategy into this motherfucking game. So yeah, I went through the training things. I went through the training for all the fucking weapons, through all of them, and I was just like, well, I guess Sword and Shield, like seems like the most basic. Tried that shit, and yeah, I was just like, I don't get it. Like, this is everything moved too slow. So I found dual blades, and I was like, ooh, this is moving quick, And for a minute, I was okay with that until Velocidrome. Believe it or not, the very first monster, I was like, I can't handle this one monster with just dual blades. Like, what the fuck? And yeah, it was just too frustrating for me, so I just put it down. I was just like, nope, not playing this game. Walked away, started playing things like Portable Ops, Metal Gear Portable Ops, which also didn't get very far because that game was super slow for me. We'll get there. See, you'll see, Chris. Tried it my hand at the Metal Gear Acid games, and we know how that went. I was like, nope, not for me. It was really hard to find something on PSP that I really wanted to play. So mostly, I just hacked it and just put emulators on it, and that's all I mostly did. Is just I played emulators on my PSP. But then I was just kind of like, in the back of my head, I was like, I really want to know what's going on with this Monster Hunter game, and picked it back up. And again, on my own, nobody around me had a PSP. I didn't have anyone to play with. Which, by the way, I got my PSP because I hated my DS so much. Like, I had an original Nintendo DS. I had Super Mario 64 DS on it, and I can't even think of what other games I had on it. But I was just like, this console sucks. Like, it had nothing on it, looked like shit. So I sold that, and that's how I got my PSP. Best trade-in I've ever done in my life. Like, I've never usually done that. I'm never like, sell my games to get something new. But yeah, as an adult, I was like, fuck this DS. And yeah, so I got my PSP. But anyways, went back and I tried Greatsword, which I liked for a bit because I was like, ooh, like Chris said, even there was no numbers back then, so you didn't know what kind of damage you were doing, but you would feel how you were actually cutting down animals quicker. You were like, oh shit, like this one took 2 hits, And so Greatsword felt pretty dope, but it's just so slow that I couldn't wrap my mind around predicting monster movements. Finally beat Velocidrome, and then came Bulldrome, and I was like, no, Greatsword is not good. Greatsword sucks, because it's so fucking slow, and this fucking Warthog is insanely fast. So I switched to...
It turns on a dime.
Dude, why? Why does it do that? It's a fucking elephant mixed with a Warthog, and it moves so fast. But then I found my love, the Gunlance, which it's been my main for pretty much every generation. I've still dabbled in other ones, but Gunlance I always go back to. It's like German said, I like complicated tactile weapons that make me think. I don't just like button mashing, even though I'm still button mashing the attack I want to happen. I'm like, come on. And that weapon is also hella slow, but I have a shield. And so it became a completely different game. I was just like, okay, now I can take this Bulldrome like head on, attack, let him hit me, fucking turn around, hit him, let him hit me. It became like a whole different thing.
And can I interrupt you real quick, Noise? Hold on.
Yeah.
So, and what's funny is like, I definitely want to point out that in by saying like, I want a weapon that makes me think. And not just, hack and slash. In theory, every weapon makes you if you want to get good at this game or weapon, that's not to degrade any other weapon out there by any means. Because like,
that's what it feels like at the beginning.
It does, except for probably fucking Insect Glaive and or dual swords. A lot of those users are just, gotta go fast, fucking Sonic users. That's what I imagine. And they're like, slash. So, like, bro, there's a strategy to that weapon. I don't know it because that's not my weapon, but figure it out, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not it.
The best thing those two weapon users do is trip you. That's the best thing that they do.
That's right.
And they're nowhere near where they're supposed to be. They're nowhere near where they're supposed to be.
No.
Stick to the tail, please.
Too, yeah.
Dude, they will be in the fucking head while you're sitting there doing your true level charge, and they'll be like, boy, you stoop, get out of here.
Or also, by the way, which is one thing I figured out with Gunlance, Lance, I guess it's mostly just those two. They have their spot on the body too, which is the legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where we stick to. And so that's why when I'm like...
You can't hit much else on the bigger monsters yet.
Yeah, it's just I can't really reach the tail, and the head is sometimes like whatever, so I'm here to trip the monster. And so, yeah, so when there's a dual blader out there or an insect glaive, and I'm like, what are you doing at the legs, bro? What are you doing here? Go to the tail. Go to the tail. But yeah, that's yeah, not to degrade other weapons, but it's just, it makes me think slower. It forces me to think slower, I think is what I mean. Because, yeah, like dual blades, it definitely has its strategy, like inflict the ailment, demon mode, if it was available back then, I don't remember, the spinal thing that it got on fucking World and all that stuff. Like all of that has its place in time. And with Gunlance, I don't know, I just felt like, yeah, it made me think slower, which nowadays with Rise, it makes me think insanely faster because of what it has become.
Yeah.
But after that, I picked up Portable Third because there was no Portable Third generation on the PSP except in Japan, and I picked it up completely in Japanese, trying to figure it out. I was writing Japanese characters and everything to be like, okay, this one's potion, this one's the icon tells you it's a potion, but it's like, wait, is this first aid or is this potion or is this mega potion or is this first aid plus? It's like, what is this one? So I'm like writing all these words out, trying to figure out this fucking game. And that was a struggle and didn't get very far. And then the internet was like, hey, we got a fan translation. And I was like, sick. And so they translated all the items, all the major items, and none of the story. So I was like, I don't give a fuck. Monster Hunter does not need a story. Why do we keep doing this? But yeah, played through Portable Third, that's my favorite handheld version because I don't count GU since it's technically a console. But yeah, Portable Third introduced me to so much great stuff, and that's when I started with Switch Axe. So every new generation, I was like, okay, I need a new weapon, some new way to think. And Switch Axe has its own strategy because you got to switch between two different modes. So that one was another tactile weapon that I really liked. And my first wall there was Kurapeko, and as much as I hate that monster, I want him back.
I definitely want him back. I love that guy.
Yeah, I hated him so much because he was like Kutku, teaching you sharpness, teaching you interruption. It was a fucked up monster when you think about it for noobs. It's like it forces you to play.
Well, and then it calls other fucking monsters. So
exactly,
like, you're such a newbie, and it calls Raytheon. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then he calls the pickle in. And you're like, that's the first time I ever saw the pickle. I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And it was just like it was so scary. Yeah, that was another reason I hated Kurapeko. But then, 3U came out on 3DS. That's when I got my 3DS. And that's when I bought the Circle Pad Pro because it's so hard. For me, at least, I can't play that fucking game without the Circle Pad Pro. I needed 2 sticks. And do you remember like the camera wasn't free? It was like increments up and down.
Oh yeah, it was.
Right? So it was free left and right, but up and down it was like 10 degrees, 15 degrees, 45, and it was like really, really
was maxed out, yeah.
And I think in 3U, no, it wasn't until 4 that it actually freed up the camera. But 3U, even with that Circle Pad Pro, it did help me. I hate the beginning of 3U because it forces you to deal with Moga Village. I hate Moga Village. And I think that's why I like Portable Third more, because it's just like, go. Like, here's a little bit of dialogue, go. But yeah, 3U gave us underwater combat, which I have love-hate with it. There are monsters that I love fighting underwater, and other monsters that I'm like, fuck this. This is the dumbest fucking way to fight any kind of monster like this. It's dumb. But yeah, then 4U came out, and that's around the time when your sister and I, German, my wife now, started hanging out, and we all got 4U together. It was, I got a copy. Did I get a copy for her, or did you get a copy for her?
I think I did.
Okay, so you got a copy for her. I got a copy. My friends who had never really played Monster Hunter, oddly enough, my friend Vinny was like, hey man, you play Monster, or have you heard of Monster Hunter? And I was like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I've been waiting for this day. You have no idea. Like, I didn't know anyone would even be interested. They're like, dude, we're all going to get it on fucking 3DS, 4U. It's going to be great. We played for one fucking day together, bro. They never again played with me. So I only played with Jesse here and there. And then I just played on my own because, again, no one really to play with. I think I got to the first credits. I don't even remember that game. But honestly, that's kind of where I was like, you know what? If the next one's not on a fucking console, because I had Tri and 3U also for Wii and Wii U, which Wii U is like it's the fucking best way to play 3U.
I never fucking had the Wii U, but
it's so good, dude, because you have the second screen.
Yeah.
You could have your fucking inventory, your map, everything there, and then the top screen is just clear.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So dope. And also, Portable Third got an HD remake, Japanese only, for the PS3.
Oh, really?
I have that one also. And if you had like a 3D TV or I had a 3D projector, you could play with fucking 3D glasses, and it's in 3D.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then, of course, 3DS came out and did that for us. And really hard to play with 3D, by the way, on a handheld.
Yeah. I did it. I suffered.
For some reason, when I'm holding handhelds, for some reason my hands start to tilt. Like, like I start lifting my right hand more than my left, and I start noticing like, oh shit, like the 3D starts fucking up, or I'm like, dude, why am I holding my Switch all weird? But yeah, then when Generations came out, that's when I was out. I was like, no, I can't do this on a handheld anymore. So I just didn't. I skipped out on Generations. You guys, I'd already met you guys and stuff, and you guys were talking about Generations, and I was so jealous, but I was just like, no, I can't. My hands fucking hurt from playing on this device.
Yeah, I won't lie. It's hard, man. But Generations was good, man. They had the skills, right? The skill sets, whatever they're called.
That was the introduction of all that.
Adept. That was such a good skill.
Yeah. So I missed out on that. And then, was it 2019? They announced World, which, did you guys watch that reveal live?
I don't remember. Probably.
Dude, I
honestly don't remember.
I don't remember. I think it was like E3 or something. And, it's just like some dude with a big ass Buster Sword. And no part of my brain was like, that's the great sword. That's like the OG great sword. But my brain didn't make the connection. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? And it's like so detailed. And then he's like fighting Anjanath. And I'm like, is this fucking Monster Hunter?
Oh, that's right. Yep.
And then, you lure the Anjanath all the way to Rathalos' nest. And then Rathalos shows up and I was like, motherfucker, this is Monster Hunter. And I was just like freaking out. Which by the way, 4th gen, I went to Charge Blade because another technical weapon. And I completely ignored Insect Blade. I gave it a try, but I was like, I don't really get it. So I was like, maybe the next one. And so World, I started on Insect Glaive. And I did what everybody else did. And I was just fucking Donatelloing my ass around in the air. Like, woo, look at me go! Look at me do the minimal damage possible.
Yeah.
It took me until... Dude, I played through the whole thing. I beat Xeno'jiiva that way. Playing...
Are you serious?
Dude, battles took forever. Until I was finally like, okay, let me learn this the correct way. And wow, what a change. When you get your 3 fucking... What are they called? Yeah, your 3
Nectars?
buffs.
Or whatever it was.
And then it's like, stay on the ground.
And then
then just release all hell on these monsters.
By all means, I've seen some good Insect Glaive users. But there was a time period where that's all they would do, just pogo stick everywhere. Yeah. And you would just be like, all right, I'm out, bye.
It just looked cool. And it was just like, I'm fucking... you're like
Spider-Man.
Yeah. But yeah, once I fell out of that honeymoon phase with the Insect Glaive, because it was just like, I just don't like, I gotta get my buffs. And then you're discouraged for being in the air, which is just like, then why did you give this weapon this thing if it's...
Yeah.
That seems very worthless. We're just like, dude, why did you give this weapon this if I have to stay on the ground to do the maximum damage?
I guess it's just to evade, but you're already pretty nimble, so it's not like it's a slow weapon.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they need to make that a more aerial weapon, which I don't know if they did.
They very much
Switch.
did in Rise.
Did they on Rise?
I don't know about Rise, but the new game.
Yeah, at Rise you can fly halfway across the map on that thing.
But to actually do good damage with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, one of the Silkbind attacks is actually you jump up in the air and you like slam straight down on the monster. It's really cool looking.
Okay. Maybe I'll give that a shot. Because I was like, dude, I would love to use this more if I could be more aerial, because it was fun being in the air. Especially when you start running into like Pink Rathian and Azure Rathalos, who do not want to be on the ground. Then they announced Double Cross, and I was like, well, that sucks. Are we gonna get it? You know, and it wasn't until like a year after they announced Double Cross that they're like, yeah, it's also coming to Switch. And I was like, okay, good, because I have a Switch and I barely use it because it's got 2-year-old tablet technology in it. But I think that's when we all started hooking up again, or really for reals, because I never really played with you guys except one time when we had 4U and you guys were like, hey, you want to see a crazy monster? And you showed me Rejang, which I'd never seen in my life. And I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And he's got the crazy eyes. And I was like, dude, this thing is scary as fuck. But yeah, then that's kind of when we started playing on Switch together. No, World, right?
We did play a little bit in World.
Because that's
but
when
not
I met
much.
Kriss.
That's when you met Kriss.
Because that's when I met
Unfortunately.
Kriss. Yeah. No, actually, World's where we played a lot.
Well, more than, but still wasn't a lot if you really think about it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you
I think when Iceborne came out, that's when we all started really, really playing together.
Yeah,
possibly. But you did dip out. Yeah, because you dipped out like on Electreon, I think, or a little bit before that. You're like, I'm done with this game. For
what is Electreon base game?
No, that's
Iceborne. That's Iceborne.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about, like base game World. Yeah, I guess we weren't playing together that much. But that's when you guys introduced me to Kriss, and I think I don't think Bonnie was there. I think it was Kriss, you, and Damon.
When we introduced you, possibly Bonnie came in.
Yeah. I don't think I was playing with Bonnie at that time. But yeah, I remember, we had all signed up to the quest, and me thinking Kriss was preparing for the quest and doing what everyone does. 5 minutes later, like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be like, hey, is this fucking guy gonna fucking ready up or what? And it wasn't until somebody was finally like, Kriss, he's like, oh yeah, and then readies up, and I was like, no way. I was like, is this what we're gonna be dealing with? Like, what the fuck? And I'm still trying to be like super friendly to him, like, because usually people who know me, I'm fucking antagonistic. I'm an instigator. I will talk shit all day to you until Bonnie was there because Bonnie was saying don't encourage him.
Yeah, don't compliment him.
Yeah, don't compliment him.
You were being nice or something. Yeah. Like, it's okay, buddy. Like, no.
Yeah, like,
no.
Sucks. Beat him down. And I was like, okay. And then I said something, and
it gets worse.
Yeah, I said something, and you guys were like, there we go.
There you go. That's the right attitude.
And I've been insulting Kriss ever since, pretty much.
I still remember, Noise, the time that it really clicked with you. We were hunting a Kushala, and he was up at Rathalos Nest and sleeping. And you'd all set up bombs, and I think I had just arrived. I was running behind because that's what I do, And I had just arrived, and I remember I went up there and I crouched down next to him, and I was like, check it out, guys, I'm the bomb. Making a stupid joke as I do. And you're like, God damn it, Kriss, if he gets up before you were able to hit him or something. And sure enough, I had gone back to position myself, and he had just woken up, and you're like, God damn it, Kriss.
Yeah.
And that's where my name comes from.
Yeah.
There were so many times we set up the bombs, and Kriss would just whiff it once.
Yeah.
And he'd whiff it, and like, fuck it, just run up to it and poke it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my long-winded story.
Do any of you miss the claw?
No.
The claw, God damn, that hurt.
Wait, what?
The claw on the PSP to change your camera.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the clutch claw.
I thought the clutch claw too.
Oh,
I totally forgot about the claw.
PSP.
Sometimes I miss it, but I like my left hand.
So here's the thing: because of that skill that we developed with the claw, there are games where I'll play now that I'm like, I'll need to do the D-pad and the joystick, the left joystick. Like, hey, guess what? I got the claw, motherfuckers. I'll bust up the claw. Dude. I'll do it.
I can't play like that anymore. But you know how we got Tony and Glenn into it too?
Mm-hmm.
I watch Glenn sometimes play certain games, and he plays with 2 claws.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you do that? I can't do that now.
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, 2 claws. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have a controller in front of me to even try that. That's crazy.
Yeah, to use to activate the front sticks, the front buttons. Yeah. It's literally the same thing. It's just with your right hand.
Yeah, I guess you never take your hands off the analog sticks.
I do it all the time. Dude. You know what game I do it on a lot? That might be surprising. Call of Duty. There's a lot of times in Call of Duty where I'll be like running and jumping and gunning and shit, and I'll be like,
yeah, that's where I see him use it.
And I'll reload it squared while I'm still running. And I know I can set certain button maps to make reloading easier or whatever, but I don't care, man. The claw works. That's fine.
Yeah, it does. I've seen it.
But
I've seen it.
I think that's. I don't know who started Bonnie, but yeah, I've been saying that thing you say. I there's a long time ago my way because I'm like, no, you can reset. And I don't care. I'm doing it this way. I gotta jump through 10 hoops, but it works for me.
Yeah, it definitely is like that for you and me all the time. My way.
It's so frustrating with like playing with German sometimes. Where it's just like, dude, there's like a setting built into the game. It's like, nah, I've been doing this for years. It's just like, just do it this other way, dude. Like, Anyways, so do we want to go around the table and talk about what you were going to bring up, German, with wilds?
Wilds, weapons. What are we thinking? So
yeah, are we gonna what loadouts we're thinking of, and I don't know what our thoughts are on what we know. I know you guys have been kind of avoiding some things.
I've been avoiding a lot.
Yeah, because I like to be surprised.
One thing,
surprise! We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
one thing that I told my buddy was like, because I like this series a lot, and again, I think it was Try, like I was saying, that was the one that really made me feel like, dude, I'm just blazing through this game, because me and Bonnie were both bringing hammers, and we weren't really or Bonnie might have been using the sword and shield every now and then, but the point is, we were just destroying monsters left and right, that I kind of felt like, I'm like, dude, we were like end game, and I was like, holy shit, we're at end game, and it's only been like a week or something. I was like, normally this takes months,
Yeah.
And so I was like, what the fuck, So that's when I started switching weapons and all that. So I told my buddy, I was like, dude, I really want to enjoy this game. And I told my buddy, I was like, I think I might just do like a dice roll, and whatever the dice rolls on, that's the weapon I'm gonna bring. Just no matter what it is, I'm gonna try and force myself to be proficient with every weapon in this game. That's how I'm gonna start off. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if it lasts, and if I eventually migrate over to bow or katana or something. We'll see.
Yeah, because I think I started Rise not with Gunlands. What the hell did I start with? Oh, I think I started with Longsword because it was like it's like the theme of Rise, the longsword and Japanese weapons and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll do the longsword, and it's fun.
It's pretty damn good.
No, it's insanely insanely powerful with the EI, whatever the fuck it's called, and then
the EI slash or whatever.
Yeah,
and the helm.
Helmbreaker.
Oh, Helmbreaker. Oh, God, I missed that move. Yeah. I hope it's back. I hope it's still around.
Yeah, but I just I missed my gun and shield, especially now since it became a meme that is just like, now you're Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh, and just launch yourself everywhere.
And it's like, it's also like, it was at the bottom of everyone's list. Gunlands. It was just like, fuck this weapon, and I was just like, why? Like, just give it a try, dude. And now like fucking everybody was Gunlance, and I was like, fuck you guys, dude. You guys didn't give a shit until you could fly through the goddamn air like Iron Man, goddammit. But
you're very good with Gunlance.
I love Gunlance. My problem is I am one of those hunters that I'm like, I can get that last hit in. I know I can. And that's what fucking screws me over. And also, Bonnie's a witness to this, but I think I draw the aggro somehow the most. And and so it's always fucking after me. Like yesterday playing with Bonnie, I was like,
oh yeah,
there's 2 other people on this fucking map. Why am I being fucking chased right here? Like, it's just like, and it's like combos. It's like, now I'm gonna hit you with this, then I'm gonna hit you with this, and then I'm gonna hit you with this. It's just like, dude, I didn't even have a chance to wire bug out of the way. Like, it's just fucking died. So you're gonna roll the dice.
I think I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna do that for like every hunt, or just like once a day? Or
I'm gonna start. When this game launches, I'm going to do every hunt. So it's going to be a new weapon.
All right.
Every hunt. I'm going to try and force myself. Because
ooh, that might be fun.
When you look at your guild card, I do find it sad that it's like great sword,
one weapon.
500, charge blade 1,000, and then free, and long sword 1,000, and every other weapon's like empty.
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't like really paid attention to the guild card since like 3rd or 4th gen. Like, I never really looked at it. And now that you could actually like hand them out like to everybody, like, here you go, like
Chris got kicked out.
Yeah, Chris would get kicked out for handing.
Just not Chris. Chris can't hand it out.
Yeah. Everyone else did. Everyone else did, and then I handed mine out. They kicked me, but because Bonnie and German were still in there, I rejoined again. I did it like 3 or 4 more times, and finally they left. It was their server. They just left.
It's true.
Awesome.
So, what are you guys thinking about for weapons then? What are you guys thinking? Huh? What are you guys thinking about for weapons for Rise?
Oh, I thought you were asking someone specific.
No. Just whoever wants to go next.
I think I'm gonna try out Switch X. I want to look at the video and see how it's changed, if anything, with this.
To be honest, I think you're pretty good with the fucking Switch X. Not to keep you away from that greatsword.
No. Don't. He's not good at all. You gotta tell him the opposite. Now it's just gonna go downhill.
See, you can make all the greatswords you want, Kriss. Just keep them in your chest, though.
Okay.
Just keep them on your wall. Pretend.
I can pose with them. I just can't take them on the hunt.
Yes, there you go.
But remember, it's not just one weapon you're taking with you now.
Yes, it's 2.
Yeah.
So with that said, bring a great sword, but never pull it out.
That's your sub weapon, and you just have the Switch X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try out the Switch X. There's a part of me that wants to go back to dual blades too, because I used that for quite a while, or for a little while, and I do enjoy that every once in a while. So I might try that out as well.
That'd be a cool loadout with a slow heavy weapon.
Yeah,
and then switch up to a fast.
Yeah, the dichotomy of
light weapon. Yeah,
I think for sure. Like I was talking about how like the fact that like now you're gonna be able to bring 2 weapons. One can be a hammer for your KOs, and one can be a sword for your cutting off tails. And you can do everything as a single player now. You don't have to rely on other people, you know?
Well, Sword and Shield by itself, like, does
could KO. Yeah.
Really decent KOs.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, when I discovered that, I was like, "Oh, I'm loving this." Which I discovered the true potential of that weapon really, really late. Like, it wasn't until like Iceborne that I was like, "Let me try Sword and Shield," and I was like, "Holy shit, this weapon's insane!"
Especially if you get that skill for that increases your potency of your slam attacks.
Yes,
blunt damage.
Yeah,
like people go nuts with that thing, and they can knock the monster out all sorts of ways. Yeah.
Bunny, what about you?
What Drummond was saying kind of sounds kind of fun, because I agree. Like I stick with just those 3 sword and shield, hammer, and hunting horn. That I might just start with my least favorites and then go from there. Like make that a reward. Or if I'm tired of losing because of Kriss, then I'll go with my favorite.
Shit, if I picked my least favorite, Kriss knows what it would be if I picked my least favorites.
Yeah.
Which I tried. I tried on PC because I was like, I can't use this weapon with a controller. The light bowgun.
Light bowgun? Okay.
Yeah. Well, any of the
I was the one that made him do it.
Yeah, any of the bowguns. I was just like, dude, fuck these weapons. Like the ammo you got to do. And all this other shit, like it's just like it's such maintenance, and I'm sure there's like a super easy way to do all this shit. You know, someone has it all figured out with probably their Argosy. Here's all my ammo and Argosy and whatever you got to do. But I'm just like, no, it was already bad enough for me with bow where you had to like get those coatings also. But at least there were only coatings instead of ammo.
Yeah, you would never run out of arrows. Could you imagine if we had to fucking craft arrows? God damn, dude.
Yeah, and that's what the bowguns are.
Well, it does have a normal shot that's infinite, but it's worthless.
Oh yeah, it does. You might as well be insect glaive in the air. But as far as I don't know if this is confirmed, but I saw somewhere that it's infinite ammo now for wilds.
For guns, huh?
For bow guns? Interesting.
Yeah, maybe I'm just speaking out of my ass, but I heard something and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that sounds intriguing.
I know the level 1 ammo, like the very basic ammo, you have infinite amount of.
Yeah, that's the one German was saying.
Just because you need to have something to shoot with, but everything else, I think, should be craftable. Otherwise, if you have unlimited of the highest grade ammo, you're
way too OP. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they don't change it for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully I heard wrong, because I was like, what? Someone said infinite ammo, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah. I'm most likely going to stick with my gun lance. It's my pride and joy, my gun lance. But I don't know about my...
Dude, because I'm telling you, I saw that video for Charge Blade, and it looks so cool. And I saw the video for bow, and it looks so goddamn good, because that's the weapon I left off right now in Rise. That's the last weapon I used has been bow, and it is fun to just pelt these monsters just in the face. It's so good. And that
too, like when I go play World, I don't play Gunlance in World because it's pretty limited, especially after playing on
Rise
and GU. Like GU really overpowered that Gunlance, especially with Valor.
Yeah.
Valor style Gunlance. It's just you're unstoppable. Like, but yeah. When I play World, I play Charge Blade. So I don't know. I might just grab both of those. I might just do Gunlance Charge Blade. I do want to experiment, but most of all, well, no, sorry. Second of all, I want a new weapon. It's been many generations without a new weapon.
Yeah.
Fifth generation didn't have one. Huh?
Is there going to be a new one?
They haven't said anything.
They haven't said anything yet, right?
Yeah. No, but I would love a new weapon. And most of all, I would love Prowler mode back.
I never did Prowler.
Yeah, I know you guys didn't really play it.
Against it, but yeah.
It is insanely fun. If you've never played Prowler mode on GU, it's hella fucking fun. Like, you pretty much, I can just get a team, and you're a cat person, German.
I know. But I like having them with me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I did play.
Yeah, you could just have a team of cats. It's just you, your two palicos, and fucking you have infinite tranks, and you could just fucking. It's like trapping monsters. It's so insanely fast. Like, I used to, for fun, I used to just speed run to Glavenus, like for no reason. Like, just like today, I'm not gonna do anything but just fucking speed run Monster Hunter GU, and it's like 8 hours, just straight, fucking no breaks. I'm going. Yeah, I miss Prowler mode. I would love that back. But yeah, any final thoughts on our pasts or predictions for Wilds?
Or just wish it kind of a quick. So you know what? This is something I wanted back in World. So I've also been pretty lucky. Is the keyword at calling stuff, or at least kind of half guessing stuff. With back in my old crew, I'd be like, oh man, like I can't think of everything off the top of my head right now. But I remember a time when I was like, dude, wouldn't it be cool if you could, I swear to God, I said, what if you could mount the monster and then stab it and knock it down, And no, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't be cool. It's fucking sure enough, mountain came about, And I was like, what if like the monster could like pin you down and like fucking, and you had to break away from it and your buddy's gonna come like stab it no. Then fucking pinning came into I was like, underwater. There's a lot of shit I've been kind of thinking like that would be cool, and it's kind of come to the game one way or another. I wanted back.
Plesioth would be cool.
Oh yeah, I wanted to jump in that water, and then it came in. I was like, take you, fucking Plesioth. But World or Iceborne, whatever version of I don't remember anymore. I wanted a siege monster. I was like, you know what we had back in the day, La Shanlong, Xiao Gao Ren. I think those were the only two, right? Then the desert guys. I can't pronounce his name. Jargon or some shit like that.
Dalmadur?
No.
Duran.
Yeah.
That one.
Duran.
There you go. Those big monsters, right? And they were cool, but I always felt like these things are so fucking massive, and there's only 4 of us. I was like, why can't we have like a fucking large party? Like an actual 16 or maybe even 8 people hunting this thing, right?
Because it's bad luck.
Bad luck?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's in the lore.
It's in the lore.
If you every time they went out with the 5th hunter, they all died. Yeah.
I didn't say 5. I said like 8.
Nope. Any more than 4, it's bad luck.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. I learned something new. But
I think it's in. I think Poke Village is where I first read that.
Okay. Well, so I'm still gonna say what I wanted to say. So they brought in Kulatov, Goldilocks, right? And it was a siege monster, but everyone was doing their own sieges,
right?
And you could see like what the progress bar, like, oh, how far has this lobby made it to that siege monster? So I would love to see, and again, I guess I might go against the traditions, but I would love to see an actual siege where the consoles are getting powerful enough where we could definitely handle more than 4 players on screen. I mean, look at we have 4 players plus 4 like palicos or 4 freaking doggies. Back in the day, if you brought a partner, your palicos were gone. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do it. They were just gone. And I remember that I was like, why can't I bring there's only 2 of us. We should be allowed to bring 1 palico, and then it came to tradition, And I was like, thank you, game, because they don't even fucking make sense to not punish us for bringing 1 player, Yeah, that. I would like to see that. I would like to see a true siege, but you guys are saying it's against the lore, so okay.
Yeah, who knows if I mean, because it's semi-open world. Like, I'm trying to think of exactly what Wilds really is, because it is a map that they've shown so far. So I don't know if it's like the maps are now going to be like the zones, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, one giant map is like area 1, and then there's another giant area, and that's area 2. Or if it's just going to be the same as before, where you choose a map, or as the story progresses, a new map or area. I don't know how they're going to fucking do it. But like, is it going to be are they going to bring back 16-player lobbies?
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then we are going to be seeing other people on the map
Oh,
that are not us, right?
Because that's true, yeah.
Because that was a hell of a downgrade in Rise to bring us back down to 4-player lobbies. Like, what the fuck, dude?
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah, that was the best part of World is we could all just hang out and fucking arm wrestle, which that's arm wrestle.
Yeah, see, and that's what I was gonna say. The two things I want is arm wrestling because I have a title, and forecasting. I want a forecaster Kriss out when I just can't deal with him, and also because that's how we stayed alive.
Wait, there's that in Rise?
No. What she means is like, I don't remember what game. Might have been For You. And again, I'm gonna throw this one out there, Bonnie. My memories are also kind of like, I remember forecasting people out. Like if you stood next to them and forecasted, it would pull them out of battle too. Me and Bonnie both swear we've done that, but we could be having false memories. But the point being is,
they're both from different timelines, Kriss.
Yep. Me and Bonnie, because we were fighting in Cantor and people would fuck up.
Yeah.
We would literally tell them where to go.
And tell them to stay up in camp.
We did. We told them, we're like, stay in camp. And they're like, okay. And then we fucking go kill in Cantor.
Jesus.
I swear that's what we did. But yeah, so Bonnie wants those forecasters.
Yeah, I want to be able to forecaster, like, because before on the PSP, you had like a second and the person wouldn't die. Or like you would just throw the forecaster and it'd take them back to camp and yourself if you needed it. So it was also for strategy, we could use it, but you can't forecaster people out anymore. Just yourself.
Not from lack of trying.
I didn't know that.
Be quiet, Kriss. Because you're the first one I'm forecasting out if that ever comes back.
I did Bonnie a great dishonor by trying to forecaster her out in Rise.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, just because I had it too. And he goes like, Bonnie, come here. And I was like, there's no way he has a forecaster because I just made one. And no, he shot me. And I was going to find out if if it worked or not. And no, he ruined that for me.
Yeah. No, some things I wish I would come back that I know are never going to come back are things like the paintball. Especially now with an open world. I feel like the paintball would be really good. But now it's like, you always know where they are.
Well, and then, your bugs, they brought those back. I saw enough of a clip where it had the fucking tracking bugs.
So, scout flies are back, but now your mount just follows them. So you can, so it's kind of like World, where you can put it in auto mode and it'll go towards the thing you're telling it to find, to sniff out. Or you can have it manually, like the way you have your Palamute in Rise. But I don't know. I really miss that. I really miss that paintball. Like I used to hate it because
me too.
Like, you hit him with the paintball, and then 10 minutes later it disappears, and that just happens to be when you finally notice, like, oh shit, he doesn't have the paintball anymore, and he just flew away, and you're like, oh fuck, where's he going?
This could probably be episode 2. It's just kind of talking about all these things that have been quality of life changes that are good and bad.
Yeah,
because we've talked about this before. It's like it's called Monster Hunter, meaning track the monster and shit like that. And World just really fucked shit up where like, you had to quote unquote track it in the beginning of the game, like the whole storyline. And then you never do it again. And then you never fucking do it again.
Except for Pink Rathian, where it's just like, hey, you're going to track this monster across multiple quests.
and then remember before they did
so freaking long, and I didn't pay attention to what we had to do. So
I was like, am I doing this
wrong? It took even longer.
What the fuck am I doing?
No, what do I do? No, and then before they did that, revealed that they did that patch where if you did teleport to camp, or fly back to camp or whatever, the Dracos would take you back to camp or whatever, right? And the fucking scout flies would just snap your fucking camera.
Oh, dude, so glad I turned that shit off.
Oh my god,
you'd be running towards the wrong place, like, oh god damn it.
Yeah, because you would land and you'd be like, oh, camp's straight forward, so you'd hold forward, and so it was like snap, and you'd be running the opposite way. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? Because the bugs were just so in control. Like, go this way, the monster's this way. You're like, bro, I know, I'm not going after him right now. I'm doing something else. Relax.
Yeah. But yeah, to add to what you're saying, Hunter, like the prep time has also gone away.
Again, quality of life, good and bad, absolutely good and bad.
Like now, there's no hot drinks, there's no cold drinks in Rise. They're gone.
Even the whole eating, like I said, you can just eat at camp now. I mean, I get it. It sucks abandoning the mission because you forgot to fucking eat, or one of your guys, Kriss, forgot to eat. It sucks. It sucks, man. But like, and I love that you can just do it at camp now, but it doesn't feel like you're being punished in any way for forgetting it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is like, oh, you forgot, no big deal. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. I don't know. We sound like old people. Like
back in my day, I know, right? Always.
But but the thing is,
Rainbow armor.
Yeah, bring back rainbow armor. But it's not like back in our days it was better. It's back in our days it was a fucking struggle. Like we're literally Grandpa from Rugrats going like, we used to walk 15 miles in the snow, uphill, both ways
to get one ruby.
Yeah, it was nuts, and we hated it. And now we're like, I miss it.
I know, we're like egg hunting mission, egg gathering, egg missions. We had to walk all the fucking way around through the prey fucking nest, past the Vespoid nest. You know, it's like, and now it's like you just like grab the egg, you can roll around on the ground, you can climb up, you can fucking do just about anything with that.
I forget who I was playing with, and they're like, yeah, you can roll with it. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, I think that was me and Rise. Yeah,
I was like literally like running, and then as my stamina got down, I was like, okay, let go of the stamina. You know, it's just like, what the fuck? Like, it's so much easier now. You can fucking wirebug. You can jump from hella far.
Yeah, and just as long as you
wirebug just before the
you're
end.
Fine.
Yeah. You don't need feline landing anymore or lander anymore. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, I was still doing these the old school way.
Mm-hmm. I would love this. I saw just a tiny caption or video of the cook, the chef, or at least a chef. I don't know if it's him or other people. Those meals look beautiful.
Yes, they're back.
And I didn't see the hunter eat it. I want the classic anime, just shove shit in your mouth, you know, through the helmet. Don't take off my helmet, just grab it in through the helmet. I don't give a fuck. You know? It was just so fun. I love that. But I would add this. We are in the 21st century. This is fucking 20 years of Monster Hunter. I would like to see they gave so much detail to, you know, in World and Rise that I would love to see this next one actually do something where it's like, if you pick meats, it's a meat plate. If you pick veggies, it's a veggie plate. That would be cool. Because yes, I remember always thinking like in the older games, you pick, you know, 4 veggies for whatever reasons, and it's still fucking lobster and on your front of your table. Like, how the fuck did the lobster get here? You know, you're like,
yeah.
So I think that'd be a nice little detail. If you were truly a person that said, hey, I'm cooking, you know, a fish, you're gonna get a fish plate, you know, or if you're gonna get a veggie plate or freaking, you know, whatever, you know, a little more detailed than just a general. This
is where we need those people that get offended and get upset about like there's no representation for us in this video game. Like, where are you pescatarians, you vegans, you vegetarians? Get your petitions out there for Monster Hunter food to be represented in your game.
And this will be the time where like it's just a video game, guys. It's fun.
I know, right?
Yeah, now they're gonna be like, who cares?
I don't care, man. It's just fake food. It's just zeros and ones, man.
Yeah.
No, but I think it'd be a nice little detail.
This is what wakes them up. They're just like, it's just
I want my hunter to shove that shit down his mouth and fucking make it interesting. That'd be cool to me. You know, like I said, actually make it look like what I ordered off the fucking menu. If I ordered the dongo tail with fucking cabbage, make that. I know it's a lot of work. Probably won't happen to make like 60 different platters. But yeah, that's what I want. I'd like that.
Yeah,
but it looks good though. That steak looked fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Kriss, what do you want to come back or whatever the hell we were talking about?
Like you, I'd like to see a new weapon. I know we've messed around with bringing stuff from what was it, Monster Hunter? What was it? Not online. What was the other one?
Frontier?
Yeah, Frontier. There's been a few things we've gotten from Frontier.
Oh yeah, we got Espinas.
Yeah, I kind of want to see the Tonfas.
Tonfas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those.
Because I just imagine using Rajane Tonfas, and that's like peak gaming for me, honestly. So
yeah. I always thought like some fists or something like that should edge the game.
Which to be fair, in World, I think it was pretty sure there were dual blades of Rajane, and they were just his fists.
Yeah.
But they did, of course, slicing damage. That's another thing though. I want to, and I'm sure we're not going to get it because it's just going to be like World
unique weapons.
I want the crazy, stupid looking weapons.
I was just about to bring that up, dude. No more fucking turkey legs, please.
I think they are back, Kriss. Just on the little tiny things I've been seeing.
Okay.
I think they're back.
I know we got a lot more of that in Iceborne than we did World.
Yeah, but still, it was kind of too late by
Rise
then.
brought them all back, dude.
Yeah. I saw.
Like I have a gun lance that looks like a fucking ear of corn. It's great. It's called the corn popper.
Yeah.
For Bonnie here, I saw a hunting horn that's a giant saxophone. I'm like, that is fucking dope.
That's true. I did see that. Yeah,
dude. I remember in 3 or 3U. I don't know which one, but I think it was for the Switch X. It was a coffin. It was just a fucking coffin. I was like, yes,
dude.
Bring these back.
Charge Blade had a pizza cutter. It was a pizza and a fucking
yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember one of the great swords was just one of those was it great tuna or whatever?
I was gonna say the fish, yeah,
the frozen fish, yeah, spearfish or something.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah, because in Iceborne they did bring back the turkey leg, I think, right, for the hammer.
Probably,
yeah,
like an actual turkey leg.
Yep, yep.
Oh man, yeah, because all the weapons just look like here's bone and here's part of monster. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, everyone hated it. I hope they don't keep your storyline in there, guys. Keep it. That's fine, but don't force it to us.
Skippable cutscenes.
Like we said in the previous. In the freaking previous games, it was like, talk to this guy, and they're like, oh yeah, and be like, yeah, what am I killing? You're like, what am I killing? I don't care. Just tell me.
As long as we don't get another handler.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Please no handler.
We already have you.
Well, everyone's already in love with the new Smithy.
I haven't seen her yet. Okay,
it's a blonde chick, and everyone's like, ooh woo, like. Head over heels.
I've seen the picture of her. Okay, that's about it. Though.
But I do got to tell you, the faces on all these characters, like the male and the females, they look really good. Like they're like really attractive and like
they're not uncanny like they were in World.
Yeah,
but the thing is, the only one that was uncanny was Handler. She was the only one that was that. In my opinion,
there were a few others. I didn't like the Admiral. You kind of look weird.
Yeah, he looked fine. I think personally then. Handler was my biggest, like, ew, I hated looking at her. I couldn't stand it. She looked so weird.
She just looked annoying.
I had her going in my box.
They didn't make it better with all her different outfits every time there was a festival or whatever.
No.
I would make her change back.
The second, the one that looked second weirdest to me was the old lady. I forgot. I don't know who she was. I forgot.
The second fleet. Oh no, is it the first fleet character or second?
Possibly, fleet? Yeah. So that old lady. She looked a little bit weird to me, and other than that, I didn't mind anyone. Admiral was fine with me. Freaking the third fleet, that one chick that was over in the
from Portable Third.
Yeah, I think so. She looked kind of cool because she was
the second I saw her, I was like, what?
Yeah,
what a callback.
Yeah, she was cool. Because she was like that had the airship or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, like I didn't mind anyone else. Nobody else. Everyone was fine. But Handler, goddamn, she was just. And I hate to say, it, not just ugly. Just didn't work. It wasn't ugly. There's a bunch of videos out there that talk about it. Like I said, it's uncanny. It just didn't fit the game. She was like, who are you and what do you want from me? Hey, Pard. Like, what accent is that? Like, who? Yeah, horrible character.
Howdy, Pard.
Hi, Pard.
Oh, I hated that so much.
Just so you know, that's going to be on the soundboard.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna bring it into the soundboard. As well as this one.
It's been borrowed.
Nice. Bumbo.
When we charge together, it's much better. We like uprooting trees, crush, crush, crush. If they hunt for trouble, we won't let them. Fruit Wyvern's big adventures.
I didn't think it was gonna be that long. I was just gonna say it's Bambaro time.
Good old Bambaro. Yeah.
Yeah, and why was Sirius Handler so good though?
Because she wasn't Handler,
and she
I don't think it was that she was so good. It's just you finally got a break from regular Handler. It's like, oh my gosh,
but she looked normal. Like if you look at her face,
she looked normal.
Yeah.
She looked normal. She wasn't. Again, every game will do this. Every game will have somebody that's taking credit for your shit, right? Some hunter that's like, oh, I could have done it myself, or some bullshit like that. None of them are like in your face about it. This bitch was always like, we did it. You didn't do nothing, bitch. You didn't do a fucking
thing. You caused problems.
God damn it.
That was kind of annoying.
That's what bothered me. Oh, and she stole my cat from day one. That's the other thing I didn't like.
Me and Bonnie were so pissed off about that. Like the second she's like, you, and the cat, my cat, fuck you, cat. He's like, no, he runs up to her. I was like, what are you doing, bro? You don't even know her. Yeah. We just met her.
I forgot about that. Just super in love with her. What the fuck?
Yeah. The fact that she's like, you. It's not named. His name's not Mew. His name was what the fuck was his name? Neko, I think. Just Cat. His name was Cat, dude. That's his name. I just called him Neko.
All right, let's wrap it up, guys.
Okay.
So for the next episode, or for the future episodes, what I'm thinking is that we discuss whatever we're going to discuss. We're not really going to have too much of a format. It's kind of chaos, but we just like talking about Monster Hunter. That we concentrate a little bit on one of the monsters, since there are probably like over 200 monsters by now that we just kind of like,
good.
Yeah, we pick a monster that we'll talk about the next one. So
one each, or one for the whole episode?
One for the whole episode.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is we decide now what we're going to talk about, what monster we're going to pick for next week, and between that time we hunted a couple times just to remember like what it was like, how it changed from generation to generation, maybe strats around it, just in case it's like a difficult fucking monster or something. But yeah, just generally talk about it. So what do you guys think should be our first monster?
I already have mine in mind. It's fucking Mr. Chewy Bitems.
I knew it because that was my favorite in German. Mr. Chewy Bitems.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think that's actually pretty great because it's like especially for Bonnie, German, and I, it's like the first large monster that you see a cutscene for.
Oh yeah, because like I said, we in Unite, right?
Yeah,
or no, Freedom. 2.
Well, it's 2 in 2.
Yeah. Sorry, Unite was Nargi, but yeah, no, like because Ruthal's is great. Ruthal's is classic. Obviously, he's a mainstay, but yeah, there's just something about Tigrex that was just like, dude, this monster is a force to be reckoned with.
It was so scary.
Oh fuck yeah, it was scary.
And people, by the way, we have a few videos out there where people are still commenting their balls off. I can't believe there's. I don't know why it's getting views now, but I guess because Wilds is in the ether. But people do not like Tigrex. Like they're like, all he does is charge and this and that, and it's like it's so basic. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it does more than that. But I love him.
His Tokyo Drift. He does his fucking. He does his. He bites. He bites, guys. He
throws rocks at you.
He throws rocks at you. Yeah, I have a story for the next episode where he Mufasas me. Okay, cool. Tigrex for the next one. Mr. Chewy Bitems himself and his variant. I guess he does have a variant in World, and
he has 3.
He's got the what you were about to say, the Deviant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, because it was just the Deviant was the Brute.
No,
wasn't it?
Brute is a subspecies. The Deviant was something Claw,
Death Claw or some shit like that. Yeah. So there's Brute, there's Molten, there's the Deviant, and then Base.
Yeah.
I love Molten.
All right.
Molten. We'll talk about that next episode.
I'm gonna have to load up some old saves to remember all the different versions of this mofo.
Grimclaw, that's what it was.
Grimclaw.
Grimclaw. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. All right, guys. Well, Kriss did the intro. I'll do the outro. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Gathering Hub. This is our first episode, and hopefully we'll go on into the future until Monster Hunter kills us IRL. You can check out our website, pixel-benders.com, where we have another podcast on Metal Gear Solid where Kriss, German, and I play through all of the Metal Gear games from beginning to end. We just had a hiatus and we're about to start recording again. It's real fun. Kriss forgets everything he did in the game. It's amazing. It's amazing that
we detour so much in that game, in that series.
We do have a Patreon if you want to support the show, early access to episodes, and also to listening to us record them live on our Discord, which you also have access to. I'll have links in the description below, so you get some uncut content from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have anything else to say before we go?
No, that's it. Just thank you guys for listening. Hope you like it. And Bonnie, nice talking to you with some Monster Hunter, because we got a lot to say. Me and Bonnie have been through hell and back with this series.
Yeah. And then you stuck me with Kriss. I don't know.
You sound bitter.
That's going to be a reoccurring theme. I get
Not as bitter as Sherman and his old crew.
Oh, like a crew. God, you guys owe me, man. Fucking, yeah.
All right, well, I was one of your hosts, Noise.
Hey guys, I'm Contra, Riser, German.
I am Dammit Kriss.
Bonnie, Ice, Mosshead.
And we'll see you guys next time. Happy hunting!